Hey guys, what's up? It's been a super long time. So yeah, got caught up to the training that was going on, even for customer support, pretty extensive training. Since there was a bit of technical stuff to learn and all of that, fun time enjoyed with friends. Obviously, most of the time I ended up being at office, and since the office is close to 30 kilometers from where I live. So yeah, I spent roughly 3 hours a day traveling to and fro from the office, and yeah, that used up a lot of time, and it resulted in me not being able to write a single line of code in roughly 3 months, more or less, right? So I just looked up the last video that was uploaded on the channel, and it was super funny. So it was on Feb 14th, iconic day, right? And yeah, I think I started working with my current organization on March 4th. That was the joining date. So I was super excited. So I think between Feb 14th and the rest of the month, for those 15 days, I mostly was really excited to get back to the workforce because I took a bit of a gamble, and I left my company earlier in 22 thinking I'll get into tech super quickly because the boot camps were on a rise and everything. And yeah, I learned the lesson the hard way. So uh, grass is certainly looks greener on the other side, but it's not that easy to get there. And yeah, with the recession going on, it was one almost, and 9 to 10 months without work. And even after like 8, 9 months, the role that I got was an internship role, and that too in a different profile. Learning about sales was also good. It certainly helped me with my interview getting into this current role. But ultimately, for me, a lot of decisions are now boiling down to money, frankly. So, to keep it real, yeah, I mean, the money wasn't great even in the internship. So, but they paid something. So, I sort of got back to my roots of being grateful for having work while a lot of other people were struggling. And I realized since I'm getting much older, so it's going to be a lot more difficult to come by work or to take that kind of risks because you might be willing to take a risk. You have to have a lot of courage to take the risks, even when nobody's betting on you. So I think unless anyone who's looking at taking risk when you're getting older, let's say like especially like 5 years after you have graduated. Yeah, be very careful. It's a brutal world out there. So you want to try something new. I think we all have to sort of make it very calculated decisions. So it seems super fun from the outside, but yeah, it's very very competitive and things are changing so rapidly that you lose your mind sometimes. So yeah, I learned the lesson the hard way. So I didn't really want to mess up the training and everything. So I entirely put my focus on meeting new people, building my network, and this time I went a little above and beyond in terms of networking. So I went a lot out. I pushed myself out of the comfort zone, and it has been it's a really nice experience. So I have to see where that goes. But yeah, I guess now I'm working in like a super early shift. So I start working at like 7 in the morning. So my plans are like to sort of now get back to working from home since the training is done and all of that. Because we have that flexibility, and I certainly want to take advantage of it when I have it, right? So yeah, I'll start working. I've Today was the first day working from home. Not the best of experiences having been in office. There's a lot of perks to it. You get to meet new people. Have any doubts, you can directly go up to them, get it clarified, and the issue gets sorted a lot quickly. But yeah, I guess that's on some scale. Ultimately it's an individual role. So I have to become competent to the point where I don't have to depend on uh, others for most of the things, right? If there's like a new unique problem that comes up, makes sense. but for most of the everyday stuff, it certainly wouldn't look nice if I keep, asking people even after like 2, 3 months, how do I do this? How do I do this? So sort of, I guess in that sense, it'll get me used to, uh, figuring out my own way and my own style of sending responses to customer, right? Sending emails to customer, responding to them, how do I speak with them, how I communicate with them, how I understand their problem from their perspective and sort of give them a ideal solution or an or something that they're basically not angry with. Yeah, so that's about it. And yeah, today was the first day, so I tried to get back to brush up on the coding part a bit. Went through a couple of initial videos, and so I have this problem. So whenever I get stuck or I give myself a long break, right? I don't feel like moving ahead until I've covered all the previous topics. So this is like a personal, my own sort of problem that I deal with. So I know somewhere in my mind that those problems which I've solved earlier, like say at least 60% of them I can solve them, just by brushing up for like 15, 20 minutes, right? Because very basic problems is what I've done so far. I didn't even complete DSA on the curriculum yet, so makes sense. Only when it comes to arrays, from arrays onwards, I think where I'll have to again pull up my focus and get into the habit of solving problems on a daily basis and all of that. So yeah, I sort of brushed up on like some of the very basic questions. um, that was it. I wanted to record, but felt a bit weird because after 3 months coming back and recording my own voice, but I do hope you guys will see a difference, because I think when I'm speaking, I don't speak as calculated anymore. It just flows freely right now, because I think when I went to work, the people I socialized with, they sort of, and me getting out of the comfort zone, that sort of really put me into ease. So I feel like the words are flowing a little more naturally right now. Compared to, I just heard one of the previous recordings that I had made on Oops or something, and yeah, not not the best. But I used to speak very slowly. I used to try and look frame the sentence up in my mind so that I don't stutter or have any weird lags and and all those breaks. But yeah, I guess this to getting to the stage of getting used to it to this level is good progress. Something good. That's one more good thing of going to office is, one, obviously you get paid. Second is obviously me interacting with other people, and being more social. I guess that helped with this, right? And I was actually surprised. One of my videos, I think the Sharpener DSA exam, has almost let me check. Yes, I'm reloading the page. Just give me a second. So yeah, the DSA exam one has 95 views. Wait, let me show you. You know, it's crazy. I never thought anyone would watch these videos. When I was initially uploading it, there were like 2 people, 3 people, some 6 or 7 views that I was getting. But in these 3 months that I've not done anything literally on the channel, it's fun to see that somewhere a couple of people are interested. Surely there's a lot of room for improvement, but I like to keep it raw and real, primarily because I'm super lazy, so I don't want to work too much on putting the music and all of that together right now. Even though I like creating content and I want to, and I've been wanting to get into this game for the longest time, but yeah, just too much effort right now with the job and everything else. So perhaps when I get paid more handsomely, so I'll put more effort into it. Because I was reaching just yesterday, as going through Varun May's video, where he spoke with the founders of Scalar and our founders are the people who are basically running Scalar School of Business, and which also included the founder of Scalar, right? So there, there's an interesting bit. What was I even saying? How was I going to relate this to content, anyways? See, it is just, the flow just went away for a second. What was it? I'm trying to think. What was I going to say about Scalar School of Business? I was talking about me being lazy. I didn't have enough time when I get paid more handsomely. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. They brought up a interesting point, saying when you get into the software engineering field, right? The people who are paid the most eventually are not like if you're just a code bunny, right? That's what I'd like to call it, making up my own terms, or maybe somebody else has used it. So I know the term called gym bunnies exist. Okay, so I just made up code bunnies right now, in the sense that if I become a person who is just writing down code that even a computer can write, if you give it like problem statement, a simple program, that is all I'm writing. It's a repetitive tasks. It's a repetitive task, sorry, which I'm doing over and over again. I think, yeah, then there's no point in being that kind of an engineer, because AI is going to scoop up my job anyways. So they were discussing the point that, most engineers, good ones at least, beyond a certain, like, let's say 3 to 4 years, or even like 5 years later, after in their engineering in the after the engineering career, or even early on, right? You don't spend as much time actually writing code. There are like maybe 8 hours of work or whatever that you do, right? In your actual daily life, you are spending 30% at best, actually writing code. The remaining 70%, obviously, you're going to chit chat and do all of that, but the majority of the time, you're actually trying to figure out what is the best way to solve the problem. You're coming up with ideas, being slightly innovative, making them more fun or whatever. So I think in that essence, you know, I I guess it might be fun to be an engineer. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of hardships that come with it. There's going to be the pressure. I met someone recently, in my current role, not in my current role, but yeah, we sort of met at work, and he was telling me, he was into development, and he found it like be super stressful. So it's like he wants to get out of it. Makes absolute sense. It might not be for everyone. It might not be for me either. But I told you why I'm doing it as primarily the money. And anyone asks me the question, I'll say the same. Because show me another field that I can go with zero experience and get the same kind of money. Doesn't exist right now. Not as easy to get in either, even if it does exist. So I'll probably have to get another degree, let's say an MBA or something, which I'm not even sure that I want to do, because it's such a huge investment of money, and I frankly have no clue why I have to do an MBA, right? Like, just to get a management role, I don't think it makes any that much sense to me anymore. So I don't have like a very clear goal on any of on getting into some roles, or some sort of specific roles that an MBA would help with. But yeah, that's the reason I wouldn't do it anyways at this time. So my only other alternative is to certainly try to get into tech, or within this new role that I've found. The competition is insane. It is beyond insane, actually, because the team is already large, right? So the scope for growth, everyone is competing for like a very very small. It's basically like IIT JEE competition, but on a much 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 smaller scale. But yeah, within the workforce also, it's always going to be like that. If anyone thinks the moment you join you get promoted in like 1 year, fixed, like, you gotta get out of that fantasy. Not gonna happen unless you work super hard for it. And I've seen some people in my current organization who work who have a crazy work ethic. It's unbelievable even for me, right? And I've seen some crazy people with crazy work schedules who are so focused on the career. But yeah, there are some very specific individuals who, who are on a whole different level, and I sort of appreciate them for that. But I don't think I can ever be like that super driven, or I still haven't found, I guess, you would say, that particular sort of role or title or job where, by default I am so driven to do it because I just enjoy it or whatever the motivation may be. So that's about it. Enough of the rant. I wanted to say something else, but it's been a long time, so I wanted to catch up and let you guys know how things are going. So yeah, here you can see, sorry, 95 views, man, super cool. And oh shit, whoever dropped the extra like on that video, I appreciate it. So there's only 2 likes. It's okay, it's fine. Right, and the engagement sort of dropped because I stopped being consistent. So this is what happens with the social media game, right? You got to do it consistently every day, irrespective of whether you like it or not. You got to try it. And I think I'm taking up a few pointers here from Easy Snippet. Right, I recently watched, obviously, I was scrolling through Instagram like every other person who didn't know what to do with his free time and was lazy and didn't have that much, had sort of lost the purpose a bit, right? So that's how I see myself at sometimes. Not ashamed to admit it, happens. So yeah, I was watching this reel, Easy Snippet on podcast with Prakhar. Oh, not to spark any. I don't care about what happens earlier in the past and all of that. All I care about is the content seemed good. And yeah, I liked it. So Easy Snippet was saying something along the lines of, he makes really good money right now. And that's fine, yeah. Like the guy did BC and it's like he's worked super hard to get to where he is. So I guess I sort of took motivation from him, and even he says it openly, right? So motivation, the game of motivation is very hard, right? It's a fleeting moment. You so watch a motivational reel, it stays for like maybe a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes, maybe a day if you're lucky, and then it dies down. So, but he said a couple of things, where let's actually try it, right? Like, what's the worst that can happen? I actually grind on this whole YouTube channel for, let's say, the rest of the year. Worst case scenario, I'll get a couple of views and nothing blows over. I'll become slightly better with my communication. I'll maybe improve the way I present my ideas to in public. Right. Either ways, I'm not losing anything. It's a plus. Right. It's not like I'm losing storage because YouTube is taking care of the storage. Internet, I have tons of data, like free usage policy that I get from my network service provider. So it's not like I'm paying $500 extra just if I start posting these videos. No, not happening anyways. Right. And it's time that I'm studying and I'm just putting out what I'm thinking in my head just out there. Right. I'm saying it directly to a camera, directly, and I'm recording it. So nobody really gives a shit. But yeah, so I want to try this. And yeah, my goal is obviously it is YouTube is not just time pass. The only reason I'm doing this is very selfish to help myself always, right? And to give you an idea. I'm helping myself, I'm giving, and I get to give you an idea, which is also, another form of me trying to sort of get some influence so that I get some free products. That's I guess the very basic goal that I have. I don't want to spend money on any gadgets. So I just want to get it for free because it makes no sense for me because I spent way too much money on gadgets and yeah, the upside isn't really there for a lot of things that I've spent money on. Now you might have different tastes, right? And social media, being able to create content if you have influence. So, but my stuff is always going to be real. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. So whatever happens, happens. Right? I might not, even if I blow up, I might not get deals stating that you just say things as they are, and we don't like that, so we won't be able to work with you. Might very well happen, right? No hard feelings. Gotta accept it, gotta move on. So that's the way I'm looking at it. So yeah, if you still wanna stick around, I know it's I've not we have no reason to stick around because I haven't given you much value so far. But yeah, since I'll be rebrushing everything, I'm sort of trying to figure out and actually, start recording even the basic of problems that I'll solve starting tomorrow. Right, so that is the goal. And for now, I want to keep this super light. So I want to start and learn touch typing, right? So basically typing without looking down at the keyboard. And I saw that a couple of my trainers, whereas doing this, whereas in my current role of being a technical support associate, so they were used to touch typing, right? Be it knowingly or unknowingly, they sort of got habituated, and they're pretty good with it. And in any role of being a customer support associate, I think it makes absolute sense to sort of have some hold over, touch typing or being able to type really quickly and accurately. Sorry about the noise, some bursting crackers. Okay, just when I thought the guy was done bursting crackers, there he goes again. So yeah, you'll just see me sort of practicing for the next couple of minutes, and then I'm gonna, hit the bed for the rest for the day. I'm gonna call it a day, and cause I gotta wake up at like 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, my schedule will be a bit crazy. I'll explain that in tomorrow's video if I have time. But yeah, just hope you enjoy me touch typing. So here goes nothing. So basically, have your fingers placed like this. So this website is called keybr.com. So this is one of the ones that I heard about in a YouTube video. So and I've used earlier also. So makes perfect sense to get started here. So to wait. Okay, I'll have to type these things in the letters. Okay, so lane space REAL at L O L. Oh, whenever it shows up in red, that is the character I missed. Okay, ALL LEAN RAN Okay, I missed it. Okay. Oh, so I thought it was lean. It's learn. RAR AR area ARA. This is actually nice. Oh shit. Okay, so I am feeling a bit sleepy, so I think it's close to 10. So since I have to wake up at 3:30, ideally I'll try to keep it at, try to sleep by 9:30. So yeah, guys, ideally the daily goal is supposed to be 30 minutes at least. So, I think I'll squeeze in some time right after work or, early in the morning or before work for this, in order to learn to touch type. You guys can, use the same website to, create your own uh, account and then, start to learn so that you have progress. It's obviously going to be very slow. So, like anything that you're learning for the first time, going to take a bit of an extra effort and but I eventually plan to get there. I think I've made this video super long as is, so it's closer to 35 minutes, and I think I'll upload this right away. Don't want to wait. So this will be the me coming back video. So hope you like it. Yeah, see you guys in the next one, and have a good day. Take care, and good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. So depending on the time zone, please take my greetings accordingly. Cool. Bye.